my lovely wife, Leticia, she kicked off. Oh, there she is. And there's a little story behind this part of the changing of the guards that I didn't know, honestly, until I became president. But apparently, Ray, oh, you don't have him? Well, maybe we might not work this out. She's got him. I see the happy red bag over there. Ray Mayo and Russ Peters apparently were on a trip somewhere. I think they went to a Bass Pro Shops back east. And Russ was, I think he was vice president, I believe. And Ray was president. And they bought their wives, Peggy and wives, I'm sorry, and Marie. They bought their wives Bass earrings. So when I became president, Peggy gleefully gave the Bass earrings to my wife, Leticia. And so now that I have bequeathed my throne to King Rich here, we would love for you to take on the Bass earrings. So Leticia couldn't wait to give them to you. So this is the true transfer of the daughter.
Well, thank you ever so much, Rich.
Yeah. When was the last time you bought her any jewelry? Please wear those with pride, and I believe the rule is you only have to wear those on banquet night. So when I congratulations. Probably seemed like 30, but 14 years. And I'll tell you, the treasure job's hard. He shows up early, always showed up early, collected money, over-collected money, I think. But when it came time to get ready for this banquet and pay the bills, John was always on top of stuff. I mean, we went to audits, we got on the phone with some idiot from New York one time going through a 501c3 audit. I mean, all kinds of stuff. John was the guy that took care of all the business side.
Bluetooth disconnected.
I guess I should stop talking. But anyways, John has just done a fantastic job, and he was the treasurer when I took over, so he was raised treasurer as well. So I want to take a moment to acknowledge John. I'd really like to give him a little bit of a clap and a thank you. So how about John, since I got you up here, I heard a funny story the other day, so we're going to have a little fun, okay?
What would that be?
Well, I understand that sometime in June, you went fishing out of Diamond Valley. Is that correct?
That's correct.
By yourself?
That's correct.
In your own boat?
That's correct.
Yeah. And I understand the fishing was actually pretty good. You hooked into a pretty good fish. Yeah. So far, so good. So far my story is correct. All right, at any point my story gets incorrect, you let me know. Okay, you stop me. All right. So I understand that you hooked onto this fish. You start fighting the fish, and then you scramble down to the bottom section of your boat, and you reached out to get a net, and you decided you were going to net that fish.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. So far, so good.
So far, so good.
All right. This is where it didn't get so good, right? At this point, it was really good when you hooked the fish, but the point you decided to get the net out, it wasn't so good, all right? All right. So for those of you that, you should have swung it, because wait till you hear this story. So John, I guess you get the net, you extend the net out. For those of you the ladies that don't fish, we have these nets, you push a button and they extend out so that you can catch the fish that's in the water. Well, John didn't catch the fish when he extended the net. What'd you catch, John?
Got the rod in the lake. That's what I did.
Well, so let me explain that. So John extends the net out, and instead of catching a fish that he'd already caught on the first rod that he was using, he actually caught one of the rod guides to another rod that was on the deck of his boat. So at that point, he realizes, I got a problem. And unfortunately, the problem progressed to the point that the rod that he caught with his net, which was not the rod that he caught the fish with, went over the side of the boat and started dropping down into the water. Well, at that point, John, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe you set down the rod that had the fish in an attempt to catch the rod that jumped over the side of your boat and was dropping into the water. Were you successful in catching the rod that just jumped off the boat from the net?
No, just out of reach.
Just out of reach.
Just out of reach.
Okay. So, then what happened, John? Did something happen with the fish and the rod that had the fish on it?
I turned around to get that rod, and it was not there.
All right. So for clarification, at this point, we have one fish caught, one net extended, and 2 rods over the side of the boat.
Correct.
That's an expensive day when you get your rods for free from the Point Seekers Banquet. Yeah, all right. Okay. So, I've had that happen once where my son set a rod down and walked away from it and jumped out of my boat at Lake Havasu. Brand new rod, so I know I fell. Well, not really, because you lost 2. But that being said, I understand that you have some pretty fancy electronics on your boat, so you marked the waypoint where you lost the rods, okay? And did you search for them that day?
I did. Could not find the rods.
Okay. About how deep was the water?
About 18 feet.
So those of you that fish, 18 feet, that's a bit to hope that even your fancy electronics are going to find that, because they look like sticks with the rods down the water. Yeah. So I understand you came up with hatched a plan to try to find your rods.
I did. I called up Bill to find out what happened to the aquaview he had at one time, and he had it. He shipped it down to me, and back out to the lake.
Okay, so we got to stop you for a second and explain what that is. So Bill Hart and Jay Honeyfield, a prior member of the club, bought a camera that they could drop down from the side of the boat because they wanted to see what their electronics were actually, if they were really telling them the truth.
Sure, we were learning, Jay and I first started fishing, and so everybody you gotta have these fancy meters, so we had these meters. What do those squiggly lines mean? So we both worked for Snap-on tools, and all the mechanics who shot those, we get paid way too much money. And so anyway, we bought this underwater camera, and so we could just look on the meter, drop the camera down, okay, that's what a fish looks like, that's what a fish looks like, that's what a stick looks like. So
Did you ever imagine in your wildest dreams that you'd be using that camera, or loaning that camera to find a rod? It was at the bottom of a lake?
Not in my wildest dream, and not even from John. John, the most careful guy in the club about everything is so ridiculous, so precise, so ongoing about his deck of his boat and everything else. Deck on the boat. Sorry. And so anyway, for him to snag a reel, to put the reel in the water to catch a fish and drop the fish. And then the biggest question is, did he ever catch the fish?
We're going to get to that, I think, at some point. I think that's almost the end of the story.
That's what an underwater camera does. And so he called me up, vibrating, state of panic. Bill, I gotta have it, gotta have it, gotta have it. And so I stopped whatever I was doing, something important like taking a nap or something. And so I took it down to FedEx, had it shipped to me, had it there the next day.
Now, bear in mind that Bill Hart lives in Northern California, and these rods were lost in Diamond Valley, which is south down there by him.
This is only that 8 hours drive.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Bill. I appreciate your input and the loaning of the camera. And I have to ask, you're a pretty brave soul. After you've already heard that he lost 2 fishing rods in the lake, that you'd actually loaned in your camera. Did you have any thought that your camera might not return?
Well, he did call me and tell me that he thought he's looking for information in case he lost the camera that has got a collection of rock and he had to get it on the web. John, it's very exciting to fish with something.
All right. Well, thank you, Bill. I appreciate that. So, long story short is you had a friend. It's kind of like that game show. You phoned your friend, right? You borrowed his camera. And so how many days later, I assume it took more than one day to get the camera. Okay, so 2 days he FedExed it to you? All right. So then you go back to Diamond Valley. So this is a couple days later. Right. So you got 2 rods, reels, maybe a fish, laying on the bottom of the lake, and it's a couple days later, right? Okay. So, what'd you do?
Well, when I was out there, I was looking for the rods and I couldn't find them, and this fish about 30 feet away splashed in the water, and I figured, okay, there's one of my rods, that must be the fish I had. So I go over there and the line was broken about 4 inches out of his mouth and no rod. So
You found the fish,
I found the fish,
but you didn't find the rods.
didn't find the rod.
This story just keeps getting better and better, doesn't it?
I was out there for 2.5 hours, almost 3 hours, going back and forth, and I see this one stick.
That's desperate. Okay, we'll get to it. You only get so much mic time, John. So bear in mind now, we're 2.5, 3 hours with John going back and forth, using Bill's camera, getting wedged into a rock, trying to lose Bill's camera. He finds the fish that's still got line coming out of his mouth, but no line, or excuse me, no rods. Okay, and we're still looking for 2 rods. So then what happened?
So I see the stick in the water laying over on the side.
Stick, not a rod.
Well, it looked like a stick, and it was pretty straight. So I'm looking at it in the camera, and all of a sudden I realize, son of a gun, that thing has guides on it.
So now he sees on the camera a stick with guides. So you know where this is going now.
So then I see the reel and the butt handle, you know.
So now he's found a stick with guides and a reel.
So I had made up a rig with braid and 3-ounce weight and a treble hook, and I throw this out there. I finally did, biggest phone call, the story short.
Thank you for that.
The rod comes up, I let it down, the rod goes down. So I started hand lining it back in, and then I felt something slip, and I thought, oh God, I lost the rod, you know. So I bring it up, and here's the butt of the rod, and here's the reel. And I thought, oh great.
It's not a stick, right?
Oh, I got it. Yeah, I got it, you know. And then I look close, and there's a rod tip right alongside the butt. And I thought, okay, maybe the rod broke and it's bent in half, you know. So I keep bringing the thing up there, and here's another reel and another rod and the other rod. Both of them were exactly side by side, rod tip to butt. Both of them came up, both back.
And the question is, were they your rods?
They were.
So he doesn't know what happened. So John, after all this, we're going to get to that. Well, you've seen a fish. Well, John saw a fish. But he actually got his rods back 2 days later after borrowing his friend's camera and spending, I don't know, God knows how many hours looking for these rods.
I couldn't have spent two days out there. It took me about 3.5 hours.
All right, John. Well, you know, I got to be honest with you. When I heard that story, I laughed so hard. It gave me a headache. You know, I had just had surgery not to have headaches. Okay? But that being said, was the fish still hooked to one of the 2 rods?
No, it wasn't. No.
Okay, so the fish was still swimming around the area, jumping up and down with fish line out of his mouth. Okay, so long story short is, we lost 2 rods, we lost the fish, we phoned a friend, and then we got 2 rods back, and they're your rods. Are they still usable?
You bet.
All right. So we have kind of a happy ending. All right. Well, we're going to make this ending just a little happier for you. All right. So our goal for you, John, is Rich came up with this device so that the next time you go fishing, we're going to hope that this doesn't happen again. Okay. So Rich is going to help install this device on your person, and then you can take it off later. But when you go fishing at the next point seeker tournament, we'd like to see you utilizing this. We'll call it a fishing rod safety retrieval device. Okay? All right, Rich, please go ahead. Yeah, in the front would probably be better. You usually cast from the front. All right. Now, John, in honor of the fact that you spent 14 years as treasurer, we were actually going to give you a rod. Just to thank you for your service kind of thing, but I'm not so sure we really should, given your maybe they just throw them over the side of the boat just because you get them for free. Yeah, that's true. But would you prefer a baitcaster rod or a spinning rod? Baitcaster rod, because those are the kind you lost, right? And then got back. All right. So Rich is going to show you how to technically connect now the rod to your safety device. Okay? And it stretches. And just so you know, it also doubles as a slot machine casino card holder. If you break your, safety device from on your boat, the kill switch, it will double as that, but you got to get the little notching thing that goes in there. But if you and Susan go to the casino, feel free to use that as well. I believe it says Casino Morongo 1-800-252-44. So John, we wanted to pull you a little bit just for the story, because it's a wonderful story to hear. I'm so thrilled you got your rods back, but honestly, we wanted to give you a rod. Thank you for your service for your 14 years. So, hey, thank you very much.
What we're going to do, we brought some product, we're going to raffle off these items. I think it's a hat, a rod, and 10 lures to 12 lucky point seekers.
Thanks for coming, John. Oh, really appreciate your support. All right, the first lucky winner is the guy who I hope still has his camera, Bill Hart. Come on up. With the hat. Okay. Andy Wasco. Matt Riley. If you have some free stuff, you need to come back. Okay? And then last but not least was Paul Bollinger.
Where's your hat, Paul? No, John, come out here as far as we go.
Front and center, with John.
Right here, so John, Paul, stand around you.
Right here. Right here, boys. It's recording. Woo! Right on.
Okay. Senior Mike Collins, come on up. Mr. Joe Williams. Jason Swearingen. Probably good name again tonight, I'll bet. Randy Estrada. And our new treasurer, Mr. Harold Stennel. All right, jump in there, take a picture with John. John, thanks again for your support. All right, we got two gifts left from John. One is a wonderful looking hat there, little camo. You can fish and duck hunt with that, I think. So the winner of the hat, Mr. John Santaruga. Hey, John, you might be able to use that strap to hang on to the hat too when you're running full speed with your boat across the lake.
John, I think you appreciate it.
Right here, this is like
The Band-Aid.
We have two Band-Aids. Awesome.
Hello, everyone. Thank you guys again for inviting my wife and I to come to you guys' banquet. You guys have best bass club. I used to be president of a bass club years and years ago in Orange County, and anyway, I loved it, but it wasn't anything like this. You guys definitely have the best deal. You guys have the best awards. Just the participation you guys have, it's unbelievable. And everybody always heard about the Point Seekers. Even when I started fishing with Tri-City Bass Club many moons ago, Point Seekers was the club. You know, it was like the only other club that people really talked about was like Orange County Bass Club. But we had this little tiny little bass club, but it was still fun. But anyway, thanks again for inviting us. My wife and I love coming out here and hanging out with you guys. We now moved to Arizona, so it's a little bit longer trip to come out here, but it was fun. It's a fun thing. Evergreen International, they love me to come and participate, and they are more than happy to, give away some stuff. And, our company is, again, Evergreen. Daiwa is our distributor now, so Kurt from Daiwa is the one who kind of is in charge of distributing our product, and it's getting more known and spread out more and more across the country. And anyway, we just love to be able to come here and do this, and I hope I can continue to do this for years to come. We'll see what happens, it just depends on how things go with the distribution and getting the word out there about our product. And anyway, we hope that you guys can catch some fish on some of these baits I gave away, and who knows, maybe we'll see something on Facebook or whatever. But anyway, thanks again, and I think we got one more thing to give away here.
Yes, we do. Yeah, I'd just like to reiterate, John and Helen, well, there she is, put pictures out there. Thank you both for coming. We really appreciate it. John, you've just been a great friend of the club. We love you to death. I mean, your support. I got one of your most improved angler gifts way back in like 2006, and I'm still using a lot of those baits. And the worst part, you got me hooked on those tungsten drop shot weights, man. I still hate you for that. But that being said, your stuff, and your support of the club has just been fantastic. So we really thank you. Helen, thank you for coming as well. I know you have a much longer drive now, so make them, stop by Casino Morongo. You can get one of those straps too. Okay? All right. So we have a fishing rod to give away. And the lucky winner is Mr. Jim Valadares.
Congratulations, Jim. The rod there that you've got, it's kind of one that everybody seems to want out of all the rods that Evergreen sells here in the U.S. market. It's the jackhammer rod for throwing chatterbaits, or our jackhammer. But anyway, it's made for throwing like ½ ounce. I mean, we make a 3/4 ounce and 1 ounce, but it's a really popular rod. Everybody seems to really like it, and hopefully you can get some nice fish on it. Congratulations.
Okay, we're gonna have John stand. Start our award presentation. Okay, third place, Tom Waskell. Tom's our current sergeant of arms, and he's been angler of the year before. This is.
And that one.
I had to wait till my wife was done. That's the only one I'm worried about.
Okay, honey.
Congratulations, Tom. Well done this year.
Okay, second place, Robert Schneider. As most of you know, he had a great run this year, coming a pretty close second, and he set a club record of 34.69 pounds at the April Fish Tournament.
All right, I get to take a couple of these. We're going to move into Big Fish. And to my knowledge, at least as long as I've been part of the club, this is the first year we've actually had a tie. So we have 2 winners of Big Fish. We've changed the way we do weigh-ins now. So that certainly has, I'm sure, a part in it. But it's kind of exciting to give out 2 Big Fish awards. And actually, this member who's going to receive the first award, he's been in the club since, for so long that our records almost don't go back that far, like 1983. And I thought that it was his 3rd Big Fish, but he very quickly corrected me and said, hey man, that's my 4th Big Fish I've won. So tonight, this is his 4th Big Fish Award for a 5.94 toad at Castaic. Congratulations to Mr. President Rich Misbagel.
Yeah, oh, that's right. Move up the band.
This is Hollywood. We have a Band-Aid.
That's our.
Good job, Rich.
Thank you.
All right, I have a second big winner this year. This guy's no rookie for receiving this award either. I believe this, and he can correct me too, but I believe this is the third time that he's won Big Fish. Third time? So I got that one right? Well, third or fourth? Well, since you're a little not quite certain, we're going with third. Okay, you can tell me later. All right. So obviously you know it's Matt. Matt got a 5.9 pound total at our Hamilton Party tournament. I'm proud of you, man. We joined the club about the same time, and you've become such a good fisherman, brother.
Thank you.
It's been great. Congratulations.
Can I trade you a word for the evergreen rod?
Talk to Jim Valladero.
Thanks, John. All right.
Okay, next is our angler of the year. Okay, this is his second award. He earned his first one in 2010-2011 season. This year he battled it out, pretty close race with Robert all year. And he had a real strong second half of the year and closed the deal at Lake Skinner, our last tournament of the year. So your angler of the year for 2018-19 is Jason Swearing.
Yeah, you know, I still got a microphone in my hand. He's got it now. Go ahead and stand on the Band-Aid, please. Jason, along with that fine piece of hardware, you get another piece of hardware. We know, we think you could probably hang on to this. But we're not going to get you that little, handy casino morongo hole.
I'll try and keep you on the deck.
Congratulations, Jason. Good job.
Awesome. I wrote a lot down here, but I don't know if I'm gonna get through it all, so, I just wanted to thank you guys, and, you guys are all a bunch of great guys to fish with, and we had a great year, and we all caught some quality fish, and, I always have a good time with you guys, camping and barbecuing and hanging out, especially at the 2-day tournaments. I believe it brings us all together as a club and especially friends. We've been in the club about 12 years now, and I really like all you guys. Anyways, I can't get through all this, but thanks. I love this club. Thanks, guys.
Congratulations.
Okay, and that's it for the awards. Now we come to the giveaway. I guess most of you have seen our product up here. We have Angus Marine gift certificates. We have reels from Dial, and we have some rods here from PAL. So, Rick, you want to let's do 3 names at a time.
You got it? All right, and the way this works, I'm going to go through the can here. We have the names in the can for those that qualified based on points throughout the total year. qualify for the banquet prizes. If by chance you believe you qualified and I don't call your name when we get to the end of the can, and you'll see when I run out of names, please let me know or flag me down or something, we'll double check. So we think we have everybody correct, but if by chance we made an error, let me know before we go too far through the raffle, okay? So first three names. Matt Middendorf. Oh, you just were up. Come on up, Matt. Ken Norris. And Mr. Vince Wong. And third up, we're giving out Anglers Marine $100 gift certificates, and we certainly, unfortunately, Rick, Cindy, nor Jordan could be here tonight, but we thank Anglers. They have supported this club pretty much since it started. So thank you, Anglers. Congratulations, pal. Thank you. Yeah. All right, next three for Anglers Marine gift certificates. Mr. Doug Ramos. Wasco Senior, Mr. Tom Wasco. And Jim Valliere.
Hey, quit talking.
All right, next three for Anglers gift certificates. Joel Williams. That'd be a short drive for Joel to spend that cash.
Oh, yeah.
He lives probably between him and Bill the closest to Anglers over there. Jason Swearingen is probably one of the longest drives. And John Samarupo. Come on up, John.
Get on the X.
All right, next up, another guy who's got a short drive anglers, Mr. Bill Sobel. Next up, Mr. Robert Schneider. Come on up, Robert. And last but not least, Doc, Randy Stroud. Come on up, Randy.
Before we go on, anyone that won those awards, leave the frames here. Take the award out. We'll take the frames back. Thank you.
All right, next up, we're going to be giving out some PAL rods. Again, thanks to Keith Ryan, PAL. Keith has been a great friend of the club. He's come to several banquets. He lives up in Northern California, so sometimes he can make it, sometimes he can't. But again, great friend of the club. PAL has been fantastic for us. I think, at least since I've been in the club, they've been supporting us. So we really appreciate it. They give us some great product. And the first three for PAL rods tonight. Taylor, you gotta put down the camera because you're coming on down, man. Oh, didn't this work out great? Steve, you gotta put down the camera because you're coming on down.
Well, take that camera. That's a lucky.
Hey, John, you can hang on to the camera because you're not coming down. It's Harold Stimmel instead. Come on up, Harold. Congratulations, guys. Make sure you don't get hooked in the sheets up there.
Good job, Bill.
Congratulations. All right, the next three for a couple of nice towel rods here. Mr. Bashara Rafidi. Mr. Jeff, say how you spell it, Preblick. Yeah, come on, Jeff. And last but certainly not least, Mr. Mike Collins. Come on down, Mike.
Two little guys in front.
Next to you, everybody's a little guy.
At this point, we've come to where the can is empty. Is there anybody that thinks they qualified that didn't get a raffle? Bill, yeah. Just go back home, Bill. You got something memory, bro. You got more than you should.
You got your camera.
Anybody going once, going twice? All right. All the names will go back in. Everybody gets to some twice tonight. So unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, one of you might get a second round. Okay? So if you do, you can try to trade with one of your buddies for a real. So here we go. A couple more power rods coming out. The next three. Mr. Tom Wasco. Mr. Matt Mindle. And Mr. Jim, I got two rods tonight, Valaderas. Jim, you made out so good tonight. I think the treasurer's going to charge you twice for this. Just saying. All right. Hey, John, come on up. Another rod for you to try to lose. Okay? Randy Estrada, come on up, Doug. And Mr. Vince Wong, come on. All right, guys, you got to stand up by the Band-Aid. Come on, this is Hollywood here.
Thank you very much.
Good job, Ben. All right, next up, we've got these beautiful Daiwa Tatula reels, and we happen to have two that are left-handed. So, if by chance your name is called, and you get up here sooner rather than later and you want them left-handed, ask for the left-handed one, because we have two. However, if you do win one, and you're not lucky enough to get the left-handed one, and you want a left-handed one, or vice versa, you want to swap it out, keep the reel, the bag, and the box together, and we can work a deal with the Daiwa wrap, and we'll swap it out for you. Okay? So don't use it if you want to swap it out. But if not, try to trade with somebody if you get it. We have two left-handers, all the rest are right-handers. Okay? And away we go. Seems like I just called this guy. Bashar Rafidi, come on up and get a rod. Robert Schneider, I think you need a reel as well. Come on up, Robert. And last but certainly not least, Mr. Bill Sawyer. Come on up, Bill. All right, next up for some reels, Harold Stimmel. Mr. Mike Collins. And everybody's favorite mechanic, Jeff Prebley.
I'll use it in Mexico, I promise.
Hey, get back up there front, Jeff. Quit hiding in the back. Nobody's gonna see you. Congratulations, Jeff. All right, Mr. Joe Williams, come on up and get a reel. Steve Hall, come on up and get a reel. The guy who was waving at me earlier, Mr. Ken Norris, come on up. Why don't you get a left-hander reel? I have a left-hander for you. Oh, that just worked out just perfectly, didn't it? How about that, baby? Well, as luck would have it, I believe we have 3 items left and we have 3 names left, so that worked out really well. Taylor, you gotta put that camera down again, my friend, because you're getting a reel. And then, wouldn't you know it, I pulled out 2 Desert Rats names here, so I'm gonna go with Doug Swearingen and Jason Ramos. Hey, that's you too. You won too. Doug Swearingen and Jason Ramos. Okay?
Too much mic time.
I'll take you, baby. Thank you.
Okay, that's it for the gift giveaway. Okay, well, that's it. I'd just like to thank everyone that attended. And I'd really like special thanks to the Pippinger family. They're sitting over here. This venue at such a late notice, you know, they really stepped up. This worked out great. Hope everyone enjoyed themselves. And now, the signal to Jeff and the boys, you want to go in the back? John, Carol? The other reminder, I think we told you, I don't know how many times, but they're working on the 60 freeway. So be careful when you drive home at night, and I would take the 10 if I were you. So as soon as those guys are in place, the members can go and get them moving. Thank you.